crochet crowd. Inspire, create, and celebrate. Let's learn something today.
Welcome back to the Diamond Dancer Crochet Blanket. In today's episode, we're going to cover the basics on how to attach these motifs together. So what we've been doing is that we've been creating the first motif that was here, and then we have the second motif, which is just a color difference. We also have the partial here, and then we have the outside one here. It's a triangle. So what I'm going to recommend to you is to choose the color wisely, and we'll be covering that concept. We have the information. If you want to go to the video description, you can download this free pattern to be able to follow, and I'm going to give you a recommendation now. We are going to be using a whip stitch just like you see, and I'll have additional tips for that. In looking at this pattern, what we had is that the first motif is right here, and you can see in the description right here, it's FD1. These are the motif number 1, and then these ones here were motif number 2. So when we go to look at this information, you're going to notice is that these particular ones literally will touch each other on the top, and so will these. So when we're going to decide our coloring that we have to make sure that we're choosing a color that already is existing on at least one of the motifs. So when we go to take a look at our example in just a few seconds, we need to choose the color that makes sense for this particular blanket. As we begin today, I forgot to tell you that the right sides need to be facing up. So if you cannot identify the right sides, hopefully you've been marking them with the stitch marker as I suggested, but make sure that they're facing up, so when you go to join them, that the right sides are facing up. You will notice quite significantly, if you don't weave in or know your right sides, one side of the block looks different than the other. So if you have one upside down, you'll notice that when you're zooming out on your blanket. So without further ado, we're going to continue. I didn't elaborate why you would want to use the back loop only that I'm about to show you. And the reason for it is when you use both of the stitches or both of the loops on both of those, you end up with the ridge that is standing off. And so when you push on your blanket, you're going to actually feel that. So by using the back loop only, not only is it invisible, but it also creates a nice flat blanket all complete. So if you're ever using it, you won't feel the ridges of where they're joining. In looking at your example, I would want to choose this color here to attach with. And the reason for it is that this here will attach here with the same color. So if you use this particular gray here, you're going to notice that the gray is going to be visible just within this little section right here. So what I would do is I would choose this color just to be able to go through. As long as one motif has the same color of the same yarn that you're using to sew it to, it's going to be invisible. So even if I wanted to just use this gray and go across over here and back up, I can do that. But what you would want to pay attention to the most is that this particular color right here does not carry through all the way to here. So the next motif would be the gray sitting on top of here. So just this little section here, if you use that pink there, it's going to be visible. So you would want to just stop your pink right here at the end, not carry it through, use the gray just for that little section there, and then just pick it up again, the pink, if you wanted to, back on the other side, just like you see. So you want to be very selective of that. When I'm on the crochet cruises, people tend to not really care about the way that their stuff is going together as far as the coloring, and it drives me absolutely nuts. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you how to whip stitch these together. I am only going to use the back loop only, and by using the back loop only, it makes it as an invisible join, so it's really difficult to see where that strand is, but because we're using the same color anyway, it's going to just hide into the background anyway. So let's just grab some yarn and let's show you how to put this together. So I'm just going to grab a long enough strand, and you can use multiple strands to put this thing together. That's just how you're going to weave in your ends when you go to do it. And what I want to do is that I want to start sequentially going across. So if this was the bottom border of your blanket, I would start there, work your way up across, and then I could come back down the other side and stop if I wanted to, or I could use the same color, go up across, and then back and come this way, or I could come up and go across. You determine the direction you want to go. So to do this, I'm going to create a slip knot on the one side of the strand that I just made, and I'm going to use that as a locking mechanism to be able to put this thing together. So I'm going to just put this other side onto a tapestry needle, just like that, and we're going to begin putting our motifs together. So I would start obviously just somewhere, and I'm going to begin, and this is already ready to go. I have my slip knot available, and I'm going to go through the outside of the back loop only. So it's the furthest loop away from me. Okay, I'll get more in the camera here. And I'm gonna match it to the back loop of this side. So in this case, it'll be just folded up a little bit so you can see the back loop only. And what this does is it makes the strand fall in between the join, which makes it invisible. And you're going to pull through. And when I pull through, I want to stop at that slip knot that I created and put that needle through the slip knot. This is going to lock it into position, and I left a long enough strand that I can use my tapestry needle to hide that in. So I'm going to just toss it to the background. We can hide that in later. I didn't weave in my ends because I'm a bad boy today. But I'm going to advance to the next stitch that's available to me, the back loop only. Just ignore the strand, the loose end, and then just use the back loop of this side. This is called the whip stitch. And when you pull, it's going to come across your top side and kind of sink down. And so the number of stitches that you have match each other. So you just keep advancing. So I always wondered when I was a new crocheter, like, how do people join this stuff together that it looks so invisible? It's about the color, and it's about the technique. Every now and then, just give it a good tug, and you see that it will join together perfectly. I don't know if you hear the rooster in the background. It's driving me nuts. It's going to go to freezer town real quick, though. Next week is the D-Day for those. Okay, so we're gonna go with the back loop on this here and the back loop. So we're just working our way across. So now I'm just going up the side of that. Go to the next one. Next one. And I keep doing it in that same format. And again, just give it a good tug. It'll tighten things up. And now I'm gonna come across the top. So it's time consuming, but this is what's going to make this thing create awards if you're submitting it for a show, or just you want those extra kudos with your family. And it's worth the effort as far as I'm concerned. I would do this on a table, just like I am today, if it was me and I were you. Okay, so what I want you to do, just keep following it up, and I'll show you what I'm going to do when I get to the top here using the same color. You're going to notice is that this will continually match, but this does not go on top of the final peak here. It just stays one down. And so then the next one will then just join together like that. So this will fill in those spaces. So I'll be back in just a few moments. So I've now just got to here. So I'm just going to grab the other one, pull it down into it. And then just at the top here, just match it to this one and pull that together. So do you see if this was another color, you would see this join. And once again, pull things tighter when you need to. So I would go sequentially on this thing, putting it together. I wouldn't jump all over the place. And this is your last one. And then just go down and just pull that in. So you see, you just gotta follow it, that's all. So then I would have to then get another strand and just start joining these together. and then just going up through here. I would use probably the same color as that as well. You could use the gray because the gray is also attached, but I would be consistent about how you're attaching your stuff together. But I would definitely use gray, as I kind of mentioned before, on the top here. So where it's not going to reach all the way, I would use the gray just for this little section to attach it to the next gray one that will be sitting on top. And this would be how you would put it together. So I'll be right back in just a few moments from now. So when you get to an end of the section and say you run out of yarn midway through, you know, you can end it at any time. You still just got to weave in your ends, and you can restart a new strand if you have to, just using that slip knot technique as I showed you. So you're going to go right to the very end or wherever section you're doing. So I want to keep this so that's on the outside, so I don't want to push it. So everything just matches each other. It's not complicated, it's just time consuming. So you can let me know how you feel in the comments about attaching things together. I find this kind of thing really quite therapeutic, in the sense where all the hard work has really been done and now it's just a matter of sitting. I would definitely put some music or something on at the same time of doing this, just for my own sanity, because my ADHD kicks in. So you're just going to join it like that, okay? And then what I want to do is at the end of this, I want to push it through to the back side and pull through. And I would create a knot onto itself here in the back. And then just weave it in the same color area 3 times back and forth. And don't forget, just don't go between the strands, go between plies as well. That really helps it to get stuck. And then you can safely cut that down. So any loose ends that you'll have, you want to deal with those as you're going. Okay, and so now we just have this section now completed. So now I just got to use the whatever color I want to. I'm going to just be consistent and just pick up and join and so on. And you just got to do your whole blanket that way. And I'll be back at the end of this to show you how this has been attached. And then we'll move on in the next video on how to do your border. So you just got to keep on moving. You can see it's got a bit of stretch. When you use the back loop only, the stretch keeps on going and you have a nice flat join the way that I showed you today. We'll see you in the next video. We'll start our border next.